Joining us now, immigration attorney Eric Lee. He's a partner at Lee and Godshall Bennett. Eric, it's great to have you back here on the show. I'll start with just how the El Gamal family is doing, how the mother, Hayam, is doing. Tell us about what's happened in recent days.
We're in a very desperate and life-threatening live situation right now, unfortunately. Last Friday, after begging ICE for weeks and weeks for medical attention about a chest growth that Miss El Gamal, a 42-year-old mother of 5 children, they've all been detained at Dilley for 10 months, over 10 months. She nearly collapsed. For hours, she was begging for painkillers. They finally took her to the emergency room with excruciating pain that she described as being stabbed in the back through the stomach. We now know after that ER visit, she has fluid in her heart. She's suffering from brain fluid near her heart. She has serious facial rash that a dermatological attention is urgently required. She's got difficulty sleeping, constant headaches. And we don't know what's wrong with her because ICE has systematically denied the type of diagnostic work that medical experts have told a federal court is urgently required in this family's case. I would think Liam Conejo Ramos, we're all thrilled that he was released. He was at Dilley for 11 days. This family has been there for 70 times that. This family has been there for over 10 months. That's the longest time of anybody who's been detained at ICE. This is not negligence. This is not deliberate indifference. This is not general systematic problem. This is the White House and some of the most powerful adults in the country deliberately causing harm to this mother and her children who all have medical issues of their own. Haven't they suffered enough? Their father committed a terrible crime. They've been found innocent of that by the FBI and an immigration judge. What is the White House waiting for? Is it going to take somebody dying? Is it going to take these kids getting orphaned? And we're asking the population of this country, every single elected official, please stand up, do something for this El Gamal family before it's too late.
Eric, what kind of response do you get from ICE officials and core civic officials when you press for health care for your clients?
Oh, nothing at all. My client has been to the medical facility at Dilley several times since she came back from the emergency room. When she was at the emergency room, she begged for an ultrasound because the CT scan didn't reveal what this chest mass was. The doctor there said ICE wouldn't let her get an ultrasound, so they sent her back. We've been begging for her to see a rheumatologist because one medical expert is concerned she may have lupus. We've been begging to see a cardiologist about this pericardial effusion, which is near her heart, the water near her heart. One doctor said in a declaration under penalty of perjury to the federal court last week that he regrets to say that Miss El Gamal has suffered and continues to suffer at the hands of negligent staff at the Dilley facility. Their inaction places her life at risk in a very tangible way. She's had no medical attention, no diagnostic care since then. This is deliberate attempt to cause this young mother harm.
Eric, you've taken these concerns to the highest levels of power. You have gone to the Senate Judiciary Committee and presented them with drawings and letters from, her children indicating the need for support, indicating the need for help. Did you ever hear back from the Senate Judiciary Committee, or have you heard anything from government officials who you've attempted to advocate for your client on her behalf from?
Look, I'll say that there has been some attention to this case as a result of this medical emergency. We're grateful for that. The push needs to grow stronger, however. There are a lot of offices with whom we're in touch who have not yet made the calls to ICE to release this family. We urge that every office does so. Again, this is 5 children who have been in this facility for 10 months. We think that we want to appeal to the population, to anybody with a position of authority, to please, for the love of God, do the right thing. This family has suffered enough. If Stephen Miller wants to send a message to them to punish them for something that they didn't do, fine. But 10 months in a detention center, this is verging on criminal abuse of these children and this mother. And they have still been denied the type of attention that they need, even in the weeks since she suffered this. Is there any question that this is a deliberate attempt to ruin this family's life, to potentially kill a mother? Because that's not hyperbole. 29 people have died in ICE custody in the last 6 months. I think that's about one a week. We don't want Hayam El-Gamal to be number 30. And we ask that everybody who's watching this, please, this is an urgent life or death situation. Stand up and demand this family's immediate release before something terrible happens.
Eric, you know, one of the things that I hear when I travel and I speak to voters about immigration, and I talk to them about centers like Dilley, they say, well, you know, this is it's what immigration enforcement requires. We have to have sites like this. And isn't it a good thing that the family can be all together, detained together? You know, years ago, people fought to make sure there wasn't family separation. So you should be happy that there's a site where a mom and her kids can be detained all as one. What would you say?
Well,
to
this is family separation, because the day after the 18-year-old El-Gamal daughter, Habiba Soliman, spoke to CBS Colorado about the conditions of confinement, Washington headquarters from ICE called the Dilley facility and demanded that she be separated from her family. So they have engaged in family separation here. They're threatening to send this daughter 300 miles away if they continue to complain about the conditions. And now we've seen that despite their consistent requests to get medical attention for what could be cancer, what could be something else life-threatening, I should mention, too, if it's a stomach ulcer, they've been giving her ibuprofen, which, according to another medical expert, could actually cause that ulcer to burst. I mean, if people please take the time to read about what this family has gone through in the last 10 months, it will shock the conscience of every single American who recognizes the most basic democratic principle that you cannot be locked up in jail as a 5-year-old for 10 months because of a crime that your father committed that you had nothing to do with.
Eric Lee, thank you so much for being with us.